mediarakyat mengenai pengumuman yang membawa Perdana Menteri Tan Sri Muhyiddin tadi berkenaan pembukaan semula sektor ekonomi bermula Isnin ini. Bagaimana MOH nak pastikan kawalan dan pemantauan kerana orang akan guna alasan pergi kerja tapi pergi melepak sebab restoran pun dah dibuka, dan adakah KKM akan meletakkan pegawai untuk tujuan pemantauan? Dan soalan yang kedua, sekiranya selepas ini jumlah kes meningkat secara mendadak, bagaimana KKM nak menanganinya? Terima kasih.
Okay, terima kasih. Kita lihat pada 6 kriteria yang telah disarankan oleh Pertubuhan Kesihatan Sedunia. Jadi yang pertama ialah kawalan sempadan masih dikekalkan dan diperketatkan, kawalan sempadan. Dibandingkan dengan negara lain bila mereka memberi kelonggaran ataupun hentikan PKP, kawalan sempadan juga dihentikan. Jadi kita kekalkan dan perketatkan kawalan sempadan. Yang kedua, kita melihat pada kes PKP ini, matlamat utama PKP ialah untuk melandaikan lengkuk tersebut. Jadi kita lihat pada 14 April kita berjaya untuk melandaikan lengkuk tersebut. Dan hari ini kes adalah terkawal dan juga kita mendapati ada 2 angka kes yang telah dilaporkan sejak seminggu lalu. Jadi berarti kita berjaya untuk melandaikan lengkuk kes-kes yang dan kita berjaya untuk elakkan daripada peningkatan kes secara mendadak. Ini bermaksud hospital kita ataupun fasilitis Kementerian Kesihatan kita dapat kawal dan memberi perkhidmatan rawatan yang terbaik kepada pesakit. Jadi tiada kes mendadak. Dan kalau kita lihat kalau fasilitis Kementerian Kesihatan, penggunaan katil ada kurang pada 13%. Dan juga penggunaan ICU setakat hari ini pun kita lihat adalah kurang, iaitu kalau penggunaan ICU dan juga ventilator di hospital. Dan kemampuan ventilator sekarang ni kita guna hari ini kurang, iaitu kalau kita bandingkan dengan kemampuan kita untuk kes-kes COVID adalah 1054 ventilator. Jadi kapasiti kita masih ada, dan juga peningkatan kes untuk ujian makmal untuk kes-kes COVID. Yang isu yang ketiga lah. Jadi kita lihat yang pertama kawalan, yang kedua kawalan sempadan, yang ketiga kes makin menurun, dan juga fasilitis Kementerian Kesihatan kita ada kemampuan. Yang keempat ialah kata kita lihat kepada komuniti ataupun golongan yang kita perlu lindungi. Contohnya mereka warga emas, kanak-kanak, OKU dan sebagainya. Jadi kita melaksanakan tindakan bersama dengan kementerian yang lain untuk memastikan kita melindungi golongan-golongan yang berisiko. Yang keempat, yang kelima ialah yang penting ialah untuk kita sama-sama menjayakan kita dalam buka sektor ekonomi, dan kita perlu kekalkan iaitu amalan kita, jadi sejarakan sosial dan juga tiada perhimpunan, dan menjaga kebersihan diri kita, iaitu sentiasa membasuh tangan menggunakan sanitizer ataupun air dan sabun. Yang keenam ialah kita memberi penekanan kepada pembekasaan dalam komuniti untuk melaksanakan tindakan-tindakan kita mengikut SOP yang telah ada. Jadi kita akan memberikan tanggungjawab bersama ini kepada mereka yang berkuasa. Contohnya kalau di kilang, mereka yang berkuasa ialah mereka kena pastikan mengikut SOP kita. Dari masa ke semasa kita akan memantau dari segi penguatkuasaan, dan penguatkuasaan akan dipastikan oleh contohnya kalau restoran bawa PBT dan sebagainya. Jadi kita akan lihat pada penguatkuasaan pada setiap agensi dan juga kementerian yang melaksanakan tersebut. Yang pasti mereka kena patuh kepada SOP yang telah ditetapkan oleh Kementerian Kesihatan. Kalau mereka tidak patuh, jadi kita akan lihat tindakan kita. Kalau ada kes, contohnya penularan kes di suatu kawasan ataupun satu lokaliti, kita akan menjalankan EMCO, iaitu kita akan tutup kawasan tersebut dan kita akan laksanakan saringan dan kita pasti akan mengasingkan mereka yang positif dan juga kuarantinkan mereka yang ada close contact di kawasan di lokaliti tersebut, sama ada di satu kilang ataupun sebagainya. Jadi itulah cara kita untuk kita lihat bagaimana kita dapat memantau dan juga mengambil tindakan yang seterusnya.
Hi, Dato'. For those going back to Sarawak from Semenanjung, are they required to undergo 14 days quarantine?
Yes, there are those who are going back to Sabah and Sarawak, they still require to be quarantined for 14 days. The reason being is that it's better for them to quarantine in Kuching or in KK. Otherwise, if they return back to the rural areas, the health facilities are not there. If should they develop any signs or symptoms, etc. So they still need to be quarantined for 14 days. Likewise, those coming back to our country, warga negara Malaysia, for example, our citizen, they also need to be quarantined for 14 days. And we also will swab them. And you can see that the positivity cases that we have detected, 263 until today.
Two questions. First question, on the SOP today that the Prime Minister and the MKN announced for all the different sectors, were those on the advice of the Health Ministry? That's the first question. Second question, on the raids that are currently happening in Selangor Mansion, Malayan Mansion, and also Masjid India area, how would this affect the ministry's, the Health Ministry's intention to do mass testing in this area, and also, if possible, detention centers, how would this affect it as well? Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. The decision is collective. Basically, Ministry of Health will provide the advisory. And unlike in the first phase, unlike during the peak of the cases that we have, so we were a bit concerned because at that point of time, a few weeks ago, we were a little bit concerned because there were exponential increase. So we are not sure about the surge, and that's the reason why we asked for a delay for a week. But now it's clear that we are in a recovery phase. So hopefully we will continue to do what we can to improve the situation further. So, and this is the advisory that we have, because in WHO, for example, before they consider a state of emergency, the public health emergency of international concern, before declaration been made, they take into the three most important factors. Factor number one is the fatality of the infection. If the fatality is very high, then they have to declare it as soon as, take into consideration. Factor number two is infectivity, the spread. And the third factor is actually economic and social economic. Now, if we were to look into our first wave, during our first wave, there's no disruption in economy as well as the social. But we did our active case detection and the public health action, and we managed to condone the disease, and basically all the 22 patients that we have been discharged. So we have done the early containment and late containment phase. But now the response is we have to look into strike the right balance between life and livelihood. And we have done MCO 1, 2, and 3. And MCO 1, 2, and 3 have helped us to flatten the curve. So the intention and objective of MCO is basically to flatten the curve. And we have achieved that. Now is the next phase now. Next phase is that to manage the virus in our community. And that's the reason why we make sure that every sector will have to comply with the SOP. And we sat down with every sector and we advise them in terms of to come up with the SOP. So SOP is very clear. And most important is to comply with the SOP. If they do not comply with the SOP, then we will close the locality or even the premise. More importantly, I think is that if there's an outbreak or even a case detected in the locality or in the premise, we will continue to take public health action and part of the EMCO. And EMCO, we come in, we lock down the area, we screen everyone, and then we identify those positive will be admitted to the hospital, negative will be quarantined, for example. So this is the action plan that we have in place. Nonetheless, public gathering is still prohibited. So we are not encouraging public gathering at this point of time. And more important is, I think the success is the public is practicing social distancing. If we can practice social distancing and in public, we are encouraged to wear a mask as well as maintain a good personal hygiene, I think that's the way to go. So we need to manage the virus in the community. And when we look into our surveillance, as compared to first week of April, our surveillance shows that detection of COVID in Aili and Sari is decreasing. So that is another indicator that we are looking into it. Nonetheless, we are going to increase our surveillance in the whole country and make sure that we can actually contain the virus. And the second question with regards to in terms of the non-documented migrants, right? So now we went to the area. That means action been done that we went to the area and we enhanced MCO in that area. So we have to take action. Those documented, not an issue. Those non-documented migrant, that is actually under the purview of Ministry of Internal Affairs. So I think that is unlike they coming to us. If they're coming to us, then our job in the Ministry of Health to make sure that whether documented, non-documented, or our citizens, they are not infected. So we locked down the area and then we did the test for all of them and make sure they are not infected with COVID-19. So that is the responsibility of the Ministry of Health. Other than that, is the responsibility under the KDN Immigration Department.
Just a follow-up on that. But currently, what they're doing in that area, will this affect the ministry's work in testing or detecting cases there? So
we empower the public as well. If there is undocumented migrant, in the first place, if there's undocumented migrant, our job is to make sure that they are not infected. So whether they comply or not, that's different matter altogether under different ministry. So our job is make sure that whether in prison, whether in the containment center, etc., they are free from COVID-19 infection.
For example, I'm just raising a question regarding the Chinese medical team. You just had the exit conference today. As Malaysia is moving to reopen the economy, how much have you been looking into China's experience in doing that? Because earlier you mentioned that China's experience has been helping Malaysia in the sense that in policy and action plan that China has been encountering the pandemic earlier than Malaysia, and then you were saying earlier. So, yeah, that's
Okay, thank you very much for the question. So we did have an exit conference with the team from China. And indeed, we have 13 visits to the hospital and engagement conferences, teleconferences with our staff all over the country. And indeed, we benefited. It's a mutual benefit from both sides. And first, I look into the policy and action plan. So in line with what they have done. In fact, they were impressed with what we have actually put in place. We were the first and we were fast in terms of our action with regards to MCO. And according to them, MCO works well with us. And today you can see the outcomes of the MCO. So policy-wise, I think we are learning from them because they are ahead of us, 2 months ahead of us. And second is also we look into the technical aspect, whereby, for example, the lab, we are looking into in terms of the testing. And they did mention not to rely too much on the rapid test kit. So the gold standard is still RT-PCR, for example. So a lot of technology, I think we have actually discussed with them and benefited our staff. And also we look into our hospital and the services in the hospital. They visited our hospital and they are quite impressed with what we have. And this is something that they did not expect, that we are well prepared in that sense, whereby we have 7 COVID hospitals, whereby with this 7 hospitals, our resources is basically focused into this 7 in terms of human resource, facilities, and etc. By doing so, we have optimized and maximized our capacity in terms of human resource, in terms of facilities, and also mobilize and deploy exactly what they did in Wuhan, for example. Those actually out of Wuhan, the medical staff were deployed to Wuhan. So this is exactly what we did as well. We deploy those from the green zone, coming to Klang Valley, for example, to help us in the 7 COVID hospital. So more importantly is that we plan well, we plan early, and we take action. And this today, because of that, we can see a good results in terms of response. So it gives us the confidence in that sense that we are doing the right thing, exactly what they did. And they did emphasize to us that we need to protect the border. Border control must be there. So this is what we are doing. Unlike some other countries, when they lift the MCO, everything, including the border control. So today, we have eased the restriction as well as a little conditional MCO, but we strengthen our border control. So I think it's very important for us to continue to strengthen our border control. Those coming back or those coming into country must be quarantined for 2 weeks, and we swap them. So that's the enhancement of our border control. So I think this is a very mutual benefit for both countries.
Boleh tak beritahu berapa ramai traders dari pasar Bahau, pasar Tambah Megah dan pasar Jalan Osman yang telah disaring, dan berapa ramai juga yang mungkin ada jangkitan?
Setakat ni kalau kita lihat tadi yang nombor 5 kalau kita lihat ada pertambahan setakat ni ialah kalau kita lihat Pasar Borong ada 86 kes, di mana 19 kes adalah di luar kawasan PKPD. Jadi saringan telah dilaksanakan, kes yang positif contohnya di Bahau, di Taman Mega dan juga di Jalan Osman, Pasar Jalan Osman, kita telah ambil tindakan dan kita akan buat saringan, dan juga nyah jemaah di pasar tersebut. Dan hari ini adalah positif adalah 3 kes, di mana 2 melibatkan luar kawasan Pasar Borong Kuala Lumpur. Jadi ada kes di situ, dan sekarang ni tindakan sedang diambil dan siasatan masih dijalankan, iaitu close contact pada keluarga dan close contact kepada peniaga di pasar tersebut. Jadi masih berterusan. Jadi data yang kita ada sekarang ni tak complete lagi lah. Jadi mungkin kita akan tunggu lagi 2-3 hari untuk kita laksanakan semua tindakan-tindakan active case detection kita di pasar tersebut, dan baru kita boleh dapat case yang positif dan berapa mereka yang jumlah yang telah disaring dan sebagainya.
Jadi berapa ramai yang dah disaring?
Ongoing lagi, data dia masih berterusan lagi.
Baik, Datuk, soalan ada 2 di sini. Soalan pertama berkenaan dengan kes hari ini, berapa, kalau dimaklumkan tadi kes pula lebih rendah berbanding dengan kes baru, jadi apa komen daripada KKM? Adakah kita lihat ia berjaya setakat ini untuk melonggarkan beberapa sektor ekonomi? Dan kedua adalah hari ini juga Perdana Menteri meminta rakyat untuk memakai topeng atau penutup mulut dan hidung. Jadi adakah itu satu guidelines baru atau garis panduan baru daripada KKM supaya rakyat memakai penutup hidung dan mulut seperti sebelum ini KKM hanya menggalakkan dia memakai?
Okey, terima kasih. Kalau kita lihat sekarang ni, keboleh jangkitan kes kita ada 1,758 dan kita dah masukkan mereka ke ward dan diasingkan dan beri rawatan, dan untuk mereka sembuh mengambil masa lebih kurang 14 hari. Jadi kita tunggu mereka sembuh. Kalau mereka sembuh, kita akan discharge, iaitu kalau kita ambil ujian yang terakhir yang negatif, barulah kita dischargekan pesakit tersebut. Hari ini kita discharge hanya 39 kes saja hari ini, berbanding dengan kes yang dilaporkan ialah 69 kes, di mana 12 adalah kes import. Jadi penularan tempatan adalah kes iaitu 57 kes. Jadi kalau kita kena lihat mereka yang discharge, kalau discharge lebih tinggi dan juga kes lebih rendah, jadi keboleh jangkitan kes akan berkurangan. Setakat ni masih dalam 1,758 kes. Soalan apa? Jadi walaupun Pertubuhan Kesihatan Sedunia telah memaklumkan iaitu penggunaan topeng muka dan hidung hanya untuk mereka yang bergejala dan mereka yang di tempat awam, contohnya bila banyak berurusan dengan orang awam mereka perlu memakai topeng muka dan hidung, dan juga untuk barisan hadapan iaitu healthcare workers lah. Jadi mereka digalakkan mesti pakai topeng muka. Tetapi sekarang ni kita hanya menggalakkan orang awam untuk pakai topeng muka dan hidung. Jadi kalau mereka perlu keluar daripada rumah dan juga di tempat awam, mereka digalakkan untuk memakai topeng muka dan hidung.